Welcome back. I'm Sandra. I help women build resilience in themselves and their families through biblical wisdom and emotional maturity. I think motherhood, we can all agree, exposes our strength and our gaps. So this series is meant to help us build resilience as moms, as women. How does a resilient mom navigate motherhood? I've got some notes here and I'll go through it. And this is not a place of judgment. It's a place of learning, really learning. How do we build resilience as moms, and how do we raise resilient children while we are building our own resilience? Discipline is in how we lead our children, how we teach them about character and responsibility and consequences and the Word of God. That is what we are doing in this space. Today, I want to touch on resilient mothers do not undermine discipline. I know as moms, because we carried them for 9 months, I sometimes feel like I know best than anybody else about my children, but that is not true. And there's one thing I've learned parenting with my husband is to never get in the way of discipline. When we get in the way of having our children be disciplined, we are doing them a great disfavor. So, resilient moms do not undermine or interfere with discipline. What does that look like? Before I carry on, I want to just read what it says in Proverbs. It says, "Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child, but the rod of discipline drives it far from him." I know for a fact that there's a lot of foolishness in my children's heart, and that foolishness has to be worked out through discipline and consistent discipline, where you do the same thing over and over again. As a family, we have values by which we live by. One of them being that we base every decision that we do and everything that we do based on the Word of God. Nothing else, not the world's opinion, not my own opinion, not my feelings. It doesn't matter how I feel about something. It's always to go back. What does the Word of God say about this particular thing that I'm dealing with? Yesterday we touched on honoring your father and your mother and respecting them. You honor them, you obey them when they're little, and when you become an adult, you begin to honor them. And honor and respect are not conditional, as the world has taught us that you have to respect your parent if they deserve it. It's not conditional. The same thing with discipline, and it also says that God disciplines those He loves. If you do not discipline your children or allow them to feel the consequences of their behaviors and their actions, you are not being loving. Every time you take away the consequences of your children, you are not being loving. You are actually doing them a great disfavor, and you are doing the world and society a great disfavor, because by you not allowing them to live the consequences of their decisions, somebody down the line is going to pay for it. It will be their teachers, their co-workers, their spouse one day, their business partners, their friends. Somebody is going to pay for the consequences of your lack of discipline, of your lack of allowing your children to take the consequences of their behaviors. So allow your children to feel the consequences of their behaviors. You will be a great mom. You will be a great dad. You will build resilience in yourself, and you will build resilience in them as well when you choose to allow them to face the consequences of their decisions. Discipline is not about control or punishment. Like when God disciplines us, it's never about punishment. He wants to teach us. He wants us to grow through the things that we went through. So discipline is not about control or punishment. It is about character formation. Our children have to build character, just like we still have to build character through certain things. Our children have to build character and resilience. And in order for them to build character, that you have to discipline them. They have to feel the consequences of their decisions. When, as parent, when you contradict each other, it is very important, no matter which style of parenting you are, if you are separated, divorced, or in marriage, whichever form of parenting you are doing, you have to come into agreement. Otherwise, your children will play you against each other. They will play you. They will manipulate you in order for them to have their way. You have to have a united front when you are disciplining your children. To build resilience in your children, you have to be united. Put your feelings aside. Again, how you feel about the other parent is not important. Hello ladies for joining. Thank you for joining. How you feel about the other parent, it's not important. What is important is about the child that you are raising together. You have to come into agreement about how you are going to parent. Because if you contradict each other all the time, children learn, first of all, 1, they can manipulate you. 2, they cannot trust you. 3, you create confusion in their mind. And 4, it's not wisdom. 5, you as the parent are actually going against the word of God. So you are in sin. You have to come in agreement when you are parenting your children. When you are undermining discipline, you may feel like you are protecting your children in the moment. But I'm here to tell you, it is a weakness when you undermine discipline. It is a weakness in your part when you are undermining somebody disciplining your children. It weakens the authority of the person disciplining them, and it creates insecurity in your children over time. When you choose not to be a resilient parent, you are crippling your children. Be a resilient mom, and a resilient mom allows their child to feel the consequences of their decisions. And that does not mean you allow them to go through it alone. I can walk side by side with you, but the burden of the consequences of your choices belongs to you. Resilient moms focus on raising incredible adults that can take responsibility, adults that are innovative, adults that are good at problem solving, adults that are good at owning their stuff. But when you get in the way of discipline, you are taking that away from them. That does not make you a great mom or a resilient mom. And if you have people in your life that are hard on your children, allow someone to be hard on your child. And I know we always go to the extreme where we only think of abuse. It's not that. Allow someone to be hard on your child. It will build character. Allow people that love your children to expect a lot from them, to expect them to be on time, to expect excellence from them, to expect them to take responsibility, to hold them accountable. It is important that we allow our children to do that. I remember when we were growing up, right? If your teacher calls your mom, you were in trouble because your mom is like, you have not been listening to your teacher. What have you done? But now, teachers are more afraid of our children. Can we give back authority to the teachers? And if you don't trust your teachers, why are your children in that school? If you can't trust those adults to help you raise incredible adults. Why are your children in that school? Remove them and place them around adults you can trust. So allow your children to be resilient by you becoming a resilient mom. And the last thing I'm going to say is, if you have boys, particularly boys, I have two, and I can see my boy, one of my boys is 12, is developing some muscle where he is beginning to feel his authority around the house, my house. And I have to remind that constantly that he's not the man of this house because he feels like he's the man of this house. Allow those boys to be around men. In as much as we can say we are strong women and we are great moms, we cannot raise men. If you disagree with me, that's okay. I fundamentally believe great men raise great men. So put your boys in the presence of great men. It's going to be amazing for them. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. And if you are enjoying this live, please share. I'm new at this and I am showing up here vulnerably and a little nervous, but here I am. But if you enjoy this, you can sign up for my 3 days challenge, which talks about more about being a resilient woman, or you can sign up for my course on how to build a resilient family. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow and have a fantastic day. See you tomorrow. Thank you for joining.